You really got me there.
GMGP. It is Thursday, January 22nd, 2026. Y'all decided to wake up with myself and my dog, my brother from another mother, Jordan Richards. You can find him at your boy Jay Rich on X. This is Wake Up with Ray and Jay every Tuesday, every Thursday, right here on the channel. Jay Rich, clean intro from your boy today. I didn't mess up your handle. A little late. Y'all know we got Snowmageddon about to happen down here in Texas, so I'm just going to set the table right now. If the internet gets choppy, if Jay Rich looks ridiculous, the stream will just stop. We'll record the video, post it, but hopefully we can get through this bad boy together because I want to chop it up with my good people. What's going down? Wake up, family. Recover, Ridley Truther. Good morning to you. Look at that. The comments are right. Jay Rich, we're rolling today.
Let's go.
Kevin in the building. We're going to talk about it, Kevin. Mike McDaniel, lock the door. Don't let him leave. Like I said, GMGP to Jorge from Rhode Island. The show doesn't start till Jorge's here, even though he's been a little late the past couple of days. Maybe that Tuesday, Thursday schedule messing with him, Jay. Ricardo in the building. Ryan in the building. Let's go, Ray. Listening with the kids, about to be 40. There we go. Listening with the kids.
That's minus 40.
Oh, minus 40. Oh, listening with the kids, about to be minus 40. Hey, Jay Rich, the kids are listening. This is a family show. This is a family show. Coro TDE in the building. What's up, Terrell? What's going on, Patrick? What's going on, Tyler? How y'all doing, baby? Jared in the building. Mick in the building. We got the folks in here today, and we got a lot to talk about. Jay Rich, but I gotta see how you're doing, big dog. How are you out there in Canada, my friend?
It is not fun out here. It is cold.
Oh, boy.
It is snowy. There's, I think, 1.5 feet of snow coming on Sunday for us after we got, I believe, a little bit over a foot just last week. So it's not fun. It is negative Celsius here just about every day. It's like floating right around zero most of the time. Fahrenheit. So yeah, it's not good, Ray. It's really, really cold.
We don't use that. We don't use that unit of measure here in the USA.
I got to convert it for you. It's right around zero. It feels like minus 14, minus 15 Fahrenheit most of the time. So yeah, it's not very good. But the snowstorm should be crazy. I know you got your preparations going on. It's funny though, because usually for these intros, I never have anything to say. And yesterday I was looking at sweatsuits. So I wanted to ask the people, because a decent amount of people watch this show. I don't really want your opinion, and I will say why shortly.
You don't want my opinion? Man. You don't want my opinion? Okay.
No. Well, maybe. So I was looking at sweatsuits because I'm at home, working from home. I'm just in like hoodie and sweatpants like 95% of the time.
Yeah. And
I need some new ones, but I need some recommendations from the people, some options, right?
Yeah.
Don't give me the fear of God essentials. I don't want to pay $600 for my sweatsuits. I get Uniqlo, they're cheap, and I'm going to ruin them anyways. So if the people have any recommendations, feel free to let me know. But it's funny that I was thinking about that yesterday. I didn't want to spend more than like $100, maybe $150 or so on my each individual item. And then you're on here before the show. You're like, man, I really got to try and get these Louis Vuitton sunglasses. And don't get me wrong, I love you. Bougie GQ is my favorite GQ. But it was just contrast to what I was looking at yesterday and what you're looking for today is pretty funny.
You only live once, Jay Rich. You only live once. You gotta do the things in life that make you happy. But yes, absolutely. Nike Tech. Essential fear of God. That's just
Nike Tech is even a little pricey. I don't. You're paying for the Nike Tech, and I'm not a black guy from Atlanta, and I don't live in the UK, so I don't really need the Nike Tech. Just saying.
Hold on, man. What? Clearly.
I mean, Ray, Nike Tech is kind of old news. Like
Nike Tech is a little.
Point.
Well, it's still. That's first of all. Don't come on here and try to brand shame folks, man. I mean, to each
stereotypes are stereotypes, are they not?
Let's get to the damn show. I don't want to talk about your Nike Tech. We don't need to talk about Lululemon, Louis Vuitton, any of that. Bougie GQ. We just here vibing with the people today, but we got a lot of football to talk about. A lot of coaching news, Jay Rich. A lot of coaching news happening, and we are going to profiling Jimbo. You see that? You see that, Jimbo? You see how he's doing this morning? And we got to talk to a mock.
Jimbo, am I telling the truth or am I spitting lies? You tell me, my friend.
You are absolutely not a black guy from Atlanta. That is the That is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. You're a black one from Canada, Jay Rich. Now let's get into the coaching news that is circulating and some other football-related stuff. This is one I wasn't going to talk about. Okay. I wasn't going to bring it up. Okay. I didn't think there was any credence to this. Jay Rich, what are your thoughts on the Niners actually? Now they are looking into it, Jay Rich. This conspiracy theory about the electrical substation near their training facility and all of the injuries that are happening apparently because of this. Is this real stuff, Jay? Is this a real situation going on here next to, what is it, Levi Stadium out there?
Yeah.
And
so if you've seen the video, or anyone who hasn't seen the video, I'm not sure if you've seen it, Ray, but there was like this random person. Maybe he was a doctor, maybe he wasn't. And they made a video about this, right? So there's an electrical substation right beside Levi's Stadium, but also the 49ers practice facility. You know, a lot of teams, they may have them separate. The stadium's one place, the practice facility somewhere else. In San Francisco, it's all together. So it's like the Levi's Stadium,
Dallas
the practice facility.
Frisco's is the Star.
Exactly,
in Frisco,
Arlington, right?
And the stadium's in Arlington, yeah.
But in San Francisco, it's all in one place, right beside this electrical substation. And so someone made this video talking about the electromagnetic waves and how it may impact the players and soften their tissues, making them more prone to soft tissue injuries. And this story just went crazy, probably like over the last 2 to 3 weeks. And then now, you know, Adam Schefter reported just today that at some point recently, the 49ers have actually looked into this. And I haven't read this report to see if it was substantiated or anything. We don't know if it's true or not, but like, I mean, come on. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not. But the fact the 49ers actually look into it is
That's what I'm saying. They're looking into it. They are. Yeah. And then didn't it happen the other night in the NBA where Christian McCaffrey showed up to the Warriors game and they said 5 minutes after he got there and sat down.
That was when Jimmy Butler tore his ACL.
Yeah, Jimmy Butler tore his ACL because McCaffrey brought that electricity from the substation there. I thought it was a non-story, but they're looking into it. There are a lot of people saying that it's there is something to it, Jay Rich. I'm not. You're the electrician here. I don't know. I don't know.
If I'm the electrician, we will have no power.
I'm not sure if that's true or not. But we did at the start of the show. I don't want to say news broke, but the NFL MVP finalists were announced. You did not know that there would be 5 players on this list, but there are 5 players up for the NFL MVP award this year. Give me the 5.
Are they all quarterbacks?
Give me the 5.
It is Drake May, Matthew Stafford, Trevor Lawrence, Josh Allen, and Christian McCaffrey.
Bing, bing, bang. Look at you. Good job, Jay Rich. You nailed them. Those are the 5 candidates for NFL MVP. This year, you've got Josh Allen, Trevor Lawrence, Drake May, Christian McCaffrey, and Matthew Stafford. Those are your 5 players. Trevor Lawrence, good for Trevor getting a nod there for how he played towards the end of the season. Good for him. He played great down the stretch, arguably one of the best quarterbacks in the league the second half of the season. Josh Allen, we know how the season ended for him. Drake May, he's got his team in the AFC Championship, but the play wasn't as stellar, maybe as MVP candidates should be down the stretch. Christian McCaffrey, the backbone, the backbone of the 49ers. Then you got Matthew Stafford here at the bottom. They're trying to psych you out, put him last. He is going to win NFL MVP this year. Do you disagree with that? Do you think your boy May could pull it off, or is this Stafford's award?
I don't think May is going to win MVP. I think it's Stafford, but May is 100% the MVP.
You're sticking to that, huh?
I'm sticking to the fact that he provides more value to the Patriots than Matthew Stafford does. Like, unequivocally. He just does. Like, the people that can say if you swapped the players, they would have the same record that's just not true. Like, if you put Drake May on the Rams, they're probably just as good, maybe not better, but just as good, maybe a little bit worse. You put Stafford on the Patriots, I mean, he's getting killed every week by that pass rush because the offensive line isn't very good. So, like, to me, it's just not particularly close, in my opinion. But if Stafford wins, good for him. I think it's definitely more deserving if he wins the Super Bowl, wins another Super Bowl MVP. Like, that's the bigger thing here. You know, him versus May for MVP is what it is. You know, they can give him that lifetime achievement award, but I think May's better.
Is this you? Quantity-J, is this your
How
burner?
could that be me?
Is this your damn burner?
I'm on the wake up account right now.
May deserves it more. You and Quantity-J, I just don't know how you're saying he means more to the Patriots than Matthew Stafford means to the Rams. I don't think, where are the Rams without Matthew Stafford? I think both
they're
of those.
They're a 500 team.
No, they're not. No, they're not. No, they're not.
Come on.
No way.
Ray,
there's not a
think
chance.
This is the best roster in the NFL.
But the defense isn't even that good right now. There's no way this is a 500 team without Matthew Stafford. I'm not trying to trigger you.
Defense?
I'm not trying to argue with you. There is no way. There's no way you believe that. That's a 500 team without Matthew Stafford.
What, you still have Sean McVay, you still have Puka Nacua, you still have Devontae Adams, you have Kyron Williams and Blake Corum. The offensive line is good. The defensive line is great. They're not playing very well in the secondary, but the team is really good. To say that, you put Matthew Stafford on the Patriots and they're any better than they are right now, they're probably not. And it's because Drake May can do things that Matthew Stafford can't that help them win football games. They have different skill sets, but May's skill set is better for the Patriots because their offensive line is bad. We've seen what happens when Stafford's under a lot of pressure. He can make great throws, but against Chicago, what was he, 20 for 42 and threw no touchdowns? You can talk about May's fumbles, but he still threw 3 touchdowns in that game against the best defense in the NFL.
I'm not discrediting how important May is to New England. I think you are grossly underestimating a quarterback who can go out there and get you 40-plus touchdowns, how impactful and important and valuable that is to the Rams.
But do you think that May can't get you 40 touchdowns? He just didn't because they didn't need him to.
They didn't.
Right?
All right. Now they didn't need him to. Now
okay,
but
they
Stafford,
didn't need him how many 1-yard touchdowns does Stafford have? 12 this season?
What does that have to do with anything?
Because they're not, again, it's when you're talking about playing quarterback, ultimately it should be about efficiency. And Drake May blows his efficiency out of the water. All everyone goes to is, well, he threw 47 touchdowns and May only has 26 touchdowns. It has nothing to do with that. Nearly a conference champion, won their division, won more games versus a dude who threw a lot of touchdowns and is in the wild card. That, the difference should be the fact they won their division. That should be the difference, but it's not going to be.
Well, he ain't winning MVP, so you could say all that you want, cry about efficiency, whine about this, yada, yada, yada.
We'll see who's playing in the Super Bowl, okay?
We will see who plays.
We will see.
We will see. We absolutely will. Let's keep going. This one broke, some information dropped about 15 minutes ago. What do you think about this potential fit? Jay, we know the Philadelphia Eagles need a massive remake with the offensive situation, offensive coordinator. They are looking into interviewing Bears, in quotes, offensive coordinator Declan Doyle for their offensive coordinator position. Doyle was hired last offseason as the NFL's youngest. Dude, what are we doing in life, man? The youngest OC, and he previously coached.
He's younger than Grant?
They said the youngest OC and previously coached under Sean Payton in New Orleans and Denver. So he's out there 22 years old. Goddamn New Orleans, man. Coaching with Sean Payton at 22 years old. I don't know how old Declan Doyle is, but what are your thoughts on the Eagles looking to get some of that magic from Ben Johnson and the Bears offense?
That is, I think, a good fit, right? You talk about
it sounds
Doyle.
Good.
What's funny is, so he was an offensive assistant at Iowa, went to the Saints with Peyton, and then went to Denver with Peyton, obviously got hired there. It's funny, I don't look at Ben Johnson as a big fan of Sean Payton, but he hired Dennis Allen, right? His former DC in New Orleans. He hired apparently this Declan Doyle guy to be his OC. Very interesting. I mean, I like the Sean Payton ties because Payton always runs a great offense. I don't know how well it's going to work out, but maybe it'll work out pretty good. Learning from Ben Johnson is always good. And we know that Ben Johnson has a great system, but it feels like a bold hire for an Eagles team that should probably try and play it a little bit safer. What do you think about this hire, though? Do you think it's kind of a little bit risky for the Eagles to go with such a young OC here, or do you think that potentially he could be the right hire?
Yeah, he's not 22 right now. I'm saying back when he was with Peyton in New Orleans, I'm just kind of yakking.
He doesn't even have a Pro Football Reference page. I was trying to see how old he is.
He's 29 years old. He's 29 years old. Yeah, he was
1 year younger than Grant.
He was born in 96, and
damn.
was a student assistant at Iowa in 2016 and then somehow became the Saints offensive assistant. Wow. I mean, this dude.
Tight ends coach at Denver.
Tight ends coach. Yeah. And now he's the Bears. So I like it, Jay. There are some Eagles fans in the chat. There's some, I know. C10 Wyatt, born in 96. Yeah, he's like, what the hell? I like the fact that they're doing something different. I don't know if they should just go status quo. I'm just throwing, I know Mike McCarthy's not the name, but I don't think they need somebody like that. Get somebody fresh. I think they need to shake some stuff up. A lot of Eagles fans seem to think they're not going to move on from A.J. Brown either. Like, A.J. Brown's going to be here. I'm seeing New England as a probable. New England and Buffalo are the two spots I keep seeing for A.J. Brown. But in regards to this report, Philadelphia doing something a little different, I'm good with Declan Doyle. I don't know anything about him, but
that's the interesting thing, right?
He's with Ben Johnson. I know nothing about him, but he's with Ben Johnson. Bears, you've got a mobile quarterback. Peyton
with
offense.
Ben Johnson, learn from Bieniemy, right, a little bit as well, which would probably be really good. And then obviously Peyton, we know how much they like to use their running backs, get the tight end involved. I think for their personnel, it could really work. Like you look kind of the way the Bears deploy their team and their personnel versus what the Eagles have. It is very similar in that regard. And I think Sean Payton would also do a lot of good things with the Eagles as well.
All right, Jay, we got some more coaching news going down right now. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they need a new offensive coordinator. They stay in the South, baby. They stay in the South, and they go after Zac Robinson, former offensive coordinator of the Atlanta Falcons. Kevin Stefanski, the new head coach of the Falcons, not retaining old Zac Robinson. It's not a shock. I feel like I saw it, but I don't remember who it was.
He brought Tommy Rees with him.
Tommy Rees. It was Tommy Rees. Yeah, Tommy Rees. So now you've got Zac Robinson going to pair up with Baker Mayfield in a week. And did you see Baker Mayfield calling out that Kevin Stefanski?
I saw it happen, but I didn't see what he said, though.
They were basically in the, I don't want to say it's a presser, but there was something where Stefanski's moving on from failed quarterback prospects, and then they listed Baker Mayfield and Deshaun Watson, and then Baker was like, he quote tweeted it and said, "Hey, I failed as a stretch, but I'm excited that you're in the division and can't wait to play you twice a year, coach." Ooh. That's what Baker Mayfield said. Ooh. So we already got some drama brewing. We got some drama brewing in the NFC South of all divisions. The NFC South with the Carolina Panthers and the Saints and the Bucs.
Hey, Ray, we always talk about that NFC South drama.
With the drama, Jay Rich. What else we got news-wise, Jay?
What are your thoughts on Robinson? You didn't even talk about it.
Do
you like Zac Robinson in Tampa Bay?
He didn't feel like he was awful. It just, the Falcons had quarterback issues. Michael Penix was hurt. Mm-hmm. He didn't feel like he was the problem, did he? Drake London missed time. Darnell Mooney was bad. He got Kyle Pitts going. That felt good. Drake London, when he was on the field, was great last year under Zac Robinson. Bijan damn near set the scrimmage yard mark this year, so I'd feel fine with Zac Robinson. I thought he'd end up back in L.A. with the Rams because he was there, but for him to land right back on his feet, OC job in Tampa Bay, better than Grizzard. Maybe it's better than Grizzard because it was shaky with Jonathan Grizzard at the offensive coordinator position. I'm fine with it. Zac Rob, I don't think he was the problem in Atlanta. There were a lot of issues going on in Atlanta, probably far beyond Zac Robinson. Jay, this one is interesting to me. Is the Buffalo Bills and what they're doing. I think everybody's kind of watching. What is Buffalo going to do? Josh Allen. We've been talking about it. Everyone's talking about it. Joe Brady and Brian Daboll are the two names at the top of this list. So Joe Brady was the OC for Sean McDermott, in which they fired. And the owner went out there and talked about the playoff wall and the franchise being in despair. Those are words that the owner talked about. You promote the GM to a higher position, right? Isn't that what happened in Buffalo? Yeah, you got
promoted to president of football ops.
And then you keep the offensive coordinator, and then he's one of the leading candidates to be the head. What are your thoughts here with Brady and Buffalo? It feels like you would rather Daboll, maybe. What you got, Jay?
So for me, I personally don't love Joe Brady as a head coach.
Yeah.
Again, he'll probably be fine for the offense, but this is a team that is basically run by Josh Allen, right? You could say that Joe Brady's a big architect of the offense and he, revamped the rushing attack, which he definitely did. The running game got drastically improved when Joe Brady came in, but this is a team that really needs a defensive head coach. Sean McDermott was a defensive head coach, and he didn't do a great job down the stretch, especially in second halves, especially in the playoffs, right? They didn't adjust very well. Beyond simply kind of certain games, and they did come back and they adjusted okay, but for the most part, this team just allowed too many points, right? And so you bring in a defensive-minded head coach, you retain Joe Brady probably to continue running the offense. I just don't think hiring Joe Brady makes a ton of sense because I don't think your defense is going to be good enough to stay competitive the way you were before. I think you just kind of keep the same offense and run that back, and then your defense is going to be significantly worse as a result, depending on who you ultimately bring in. But Ray, I did want to ask you your thoughts because this really wasn't the drama that happened in Buffalo yesterday.
Hold on. Let's save that because I want to stay here for a minute. Shout out to Mitch, man. My Sparry picks. Shout out to DFS and Donuts. Mitch Carl, check out all his betting content. This dude will lace your pockets up for the NFC and AFC championships and that other sport. I think he still covers that other sport. NBA, Jay, have you watched any NBA this year?
Ray, I told you, man.
I've been low basketball. Man. There's been low basketball watching this year. But here's what Mitch said. Brandon Beane, Terry Pegula turned the Buffalo Bills into a circus. What solid coach would want to go there? Is Josh's pull that strong? Here's an interesting thing about that. When you're walking into an organization with somebody who's making the most money, Josh Allen's making more than anybody outside of the owner. He is the leader of the team. He is the Buffalo Bills face of the franchise. You better believe he's going to have influence on who's coaching this team, what he wants to do, how he feels. He probably has some say in that to a degree, or his opinion is allowed to be heard. Is this a spot where I'm just going to use strong head coach, is that where you want to go? Do you want to, not because Josh Allen is bad, it's quite the opposite, because he is so good, and the expectation for a Josh Allen, for a Lamar Jackson, it ain't to come in and get Buffalo to the divisional round. It's not to have Baltimore be a wild card team. It's not to almost get to an AFC championship. The goal and the expectation is probably to win a conference championship and represent that side, the AFC, in a Super Bowl. And outside of that, how much grace is the next guy going to get? Sean McDermott went, he was 50
divisional.
But I'm saying he was 50 games over 500 when he was there, 40-something games over 500. What is the next coach's level of grace going to be without extreme levels of success in both of those spots? Like, what coach wants this job? What head coach available right now can you don't give me Flores to Buffalo because that's not happening. Is it Daboll? Do you just go back to what was comfortable? Do you just revert back to, well, we know Joe and we can keep the continuity here. Brian was here a few years ago. He got the most out of Josh. He's the one that started to turn this thing around. Like, talk about these two situations in particular, because they're very different than Arizona's job or the Raiders' job. It is a very, very different level of expectation and outcome accepting those jobs.
Yeah, so I think that's one of the big problems with what happened with Buffalo, right? And I talked about it on Tuesday's show, is they're late to the party now. They would have been great with Jesse Minter. They would have been great with Jeff Hafley, right? Like, these defensive head coaches that are on the come up, on the rise, can help turn this roster around. But I think your point about the organization is a big one, right? No one ever talks about Baltimore and their organizational lack of stability, but definitely what we've seen over the last few days, Brandon Beane's comments, Terry Pegula's comments, like, why would a good head coaching candidate want to go there other than the reason that they have Josh Allen? But to your point, the expectations need to be set that it's probably to win the division and then go from there. The Chiefs got Eric Bieniemy back, right? And that's going to be a huge lift for them. The Chargers, we will get to shortly. They should hopefully be back with their tackles and a new OC. Baltimore, depending on who they're bringing in head coach, should be back and competitive. Cincinnati will be competitive, right? We know how competitive the AFC is. But I think, to your point, this front office is delusional about what this team is. Anyone who's on the outside who isn't a Bills fan knows this team isn't as good as they think it is. It's just the fact that they have Josh Allen. Quantity J said it here. They're also still waiting on Kubiak, and I talked about that. To me, Kubiak is the only guy that I could see maybe taking this job and making more of it than everyone else remaining. It doesn't seem like there any of the candidates right now that are going to be potentially hired that aren't previous Buffalo guys. Joe Brady, Brian Daboll want this job or expected to get this job, and even Joe Brady's interviewing for the Ravens today. And again, he's not going to get that job. They're going to go defensive. I believe Jesse Minter is still the leading favorite candidate there. But it does seem like they're going to go familiar over the right coach. And I think part of it is because they're late to the cycle, and now they're kind of picking up the scraps. And even some of the strong OC candidates that want head coaching jobs are also being scooped up. Grant Udisky is probably going to be scooped up by the Browns. He's still the favorite there. We know that Mike McDaniel probably going to end up the Chargers OC. So even those guys aren't available, but the good defensive candidates, they're gone. And I think, to me, that's what Buffalo needs is defense. Bring in Brian Daboll is not going to fix the defense. Bring in Joe Brady and promoting him to head coach, not going to fix the defense. And most importantly, Brandon Beane has done a terrible job. And I don't think certain head coaches, especially strong candidates, would want to deal with Brandon Beane and Terry Pegula, who have this weird relationship where Pegula trusts Beane, but everyone kind of knows that Beane's not a very good GM.
We'll talk about the drama, Jay. I've got some audio. What happened? What's the big drama that happened in Buffalo?
Yeah, so there was the press conference yesterday, and Terry Pegula kind of out of nowhere just like butted in and said that Brandon Beane wasn't the one who wanted to draft Keon Coleman, which was interesting because the internet did its thing, and they dug up some clips that might say the contrary to that. But yeah, Terry Pegula, the owner of the Buffalo Bills.
Can you hear it, Jay? Can y'all hear it?
I'll address the Keon situation. The coaching staff pushed to draft Keon. I'm not saying Brandon wouldn't have drafted him, but he wasn't his next choice. That was Brandon being a team player and taking advice of his coaching staff, who felt strongly about the player. And, he's taken, for some reason, heat over it and not saying a word about it. But I'm here to tell you the true story.
I know that I just need you to cape up for me like that. When I do some dumb shit, I need you to come out there and block it all for me, Jay Rich. What a bus thrown under. I mean, he was in the upside down, man. He wasn't even under the bus. It was just completely in a different place. He just threw Keon and Sean McDermott. Keon Coleman's still on the roster. He's still on
damn right he is.
He's still on the Bills. And see, this is why you got to be able to play. Remember, a couple of people love that Keon Coleman. He wore a big, funny yellow jacket, and he eats a bunch of candy, and he's so fun, and the vibes, and I love this guy.
Xavier Leggett too.
People are so easily duped into undeserved
just the personality,
hype.
right?
Yeah, just undeserved. Like you've never been anywhere. You've never seen anybody wear a yellow jacket or talk with a little swag or be cool. Like when that was happening, when that was happening, I'm just like, they love it until they get on the field and they play like dog shit.
Yeah.
Neither here nor there. Kind of out of balance to talk about Coleman like that when he's still on the roster, right?
Well, and you're throwing McDermott under the bus.
When
there was literal video of Beane saying that he's taking Keon basically no matter what. He is like in draft day. Oh, it's no matter what. Keon Coleman, top of the second round, because they had the first pick, and there was literally video of, who are you going to take? Oh, unless we get a big offer, it's going to be Keon Coleman. How'd that work out?
Yeah.
And you're telling me, it was McDermott and the coaching staff's decision? That's brutal. You just fired him a few days ago. Now you're throwing him under the bus because your draft pick sucks. Ray, this just screams of an owner who's on Twitter way too much. Because everyone who's on Twitter knows the Keon Coleman hype is a weekly occurrence, and it's hilarious. And to be honest, the way he plays is a little bit deserved, but the handling of that by ownership is drastically different than we see in Baltimore, where Steve Bisciotti is basically the most invisible owner ever until Mike Tomlin gets fired. Then he gives you one of the best sound bites of the offseason so far.
Interesting contract extension in waiting for current Minnesota Vikings defensive coordinator Brian Flores. Everybody keeps talking about Flo getting his head coaching job. He's got a contingency plan. They have announced the Vikings have signed defensive coordinator Brian Flores to a contract extension, and then underneath it, if he does not receive a head coaching job this cycle. He ain't getting one, is he?
No.
He ain't getting one, is he?
No.
He's not getting one, is he?
Probably not. Ray, do you think he'll ever be a head coach again?
Now I don't. I kind of don't. I mean, he's got an active lawsuit against the owners, and we already know that collusion does exist. So let's not bury our heads in the sand and act like it doesn't happen. You're suing the league. You're suing the owners actively, and then you're interviewing. And there's nothing wrong with interviewing, right? I'll bring you in for an interview. We got to Rooney rule this thing anyway. I got to Rooney rule it anyway.
How many interviews does he get if he's not a block head coach?
Ain't many, right? Bieniemy's taking up. You got that Vance Joseph. We'll see if Leslie Frazier gets an interview. You got Raheem Morris get an interview. Al Harris.
And then I forget the DC in Miami too. He's the other one too.
So a lot of them might be taken up at this point. So it just does not feel like Brian Flores is going to get that job. Baltimore is the team that has been most commonly linked to him. And my question is, if it were going to be the Ravens, what are they waiting for? Why are they dragging feet? If it's Pittsburgh, which I believe the odds for Pittsburgh is Chris Shula, why have they not? I don't think he's going to get one, Jay. Interesting that they announced this. I don't know if I've ever seen a contingency contract extension if you don't get a head coaching job. At least the public to do about it. I don't think I've seen this.
Well, the only other one is McDaniel. He got the same thing, except the thing with Flores is that Flores does not have a contract, right? So his contract was expired. It's over now. He wasn't fired or anything. His contract just expired. But yeah, it seems like he's going to be back in Minnesota. And why would you announce it if that's not going to be the case? Like, unless something drastic happens, he's going to be back as the Minnesota defensive coordinator.
There it is. Brian Flores probably back as the DC. And I agree. I thought that he would get one. I was like, oh yeah, his name was hot at the beginning. I'm like, yes, he's going to get a job. No doubt about it. But it does not appear that way. I do want to get your thoughts on Eric Bieniemy, Jay. What are your thoughts on him bringing back OC Eric Bieniemy? I'll tell you this. I don't like it.
Really?
I don't like it.
That's pretty shocking, to be honest.
I don't like it. It feels like they're just reaching to try to recreate old magic, bringing him back. You had him in the building. You let him go, right?
Yeah.
You had him in the building. You let him go. And now you bring him back to do what exactly? Reinvent this Chiefs offense? This isn't first of all, Bieniemy only was the OC for one game with Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, and Patrick Mahomes. One game. So what are we trying to recreate with Eric Bieniemy, Patrick Mahomes, who says he's going to be available week 1?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just uninspired. This feels like a hire that's like 4 years too late. I could be totally wrong. I'm not saying Bieniemy's a bad coach. It just seemed like low-hanging fruit for Kansas City to just go back to what was familiar and trying to, and I don't know, but recreate some of the magic of the past, and that team just doesn't exist anymore. That team doesn't exist.
Yeah, I mean, to some extent, you're right, but I think the reason why I'm surprised that you're not a bit inspired by the hire is, what is Eric Bieniemy? He is a former running back, and he was the running backs coach for Ben Johnson. So now you have a guy who just has been coaching under Ben Johnson, who has a great rushing scheme, and he's also arguably the architect of the great Chiefs rushing offense that you talk about so much to say they need to get back to be able to run the football. Their biggest problem for years and years is that they can't run the football. And so I think for them, I'm with you on it's a bit more of a retread than a refresh and revamp of the offense. But I think the criticism we've had for the Chiefs for years and years and their inability to run the football, I'm sure their hope is that Eric Bieniemy will be able to return that. And then with that improved running game, it will open up the play action, the over-the-middle stuff, and things for the receivers that we know that Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes can scheme up in the pass game.
They can't run the ball, not because of the coaching staff, is because they don't have a damn running back. That could be part of the reason as well. I would say that is more of the whole reason than a part of the reason. They need a damn running back. I don't think the schemes
They
weren't
need a better
bad.
Offensive line, too. Their offensive line could be improved this offseason.
Chiefs fans told me the offensive line ain't no problem. They need a running back is the issue. Just my opinion. I see some people in the chat saying the same thing. Val said all these teams trying to get their X back and rekindle the flame that was fumbled. I agree. Adam said uninspiring.
But I don't think
Chiefs are settling. But it's not just Chiefs need new blood. Agree, Ray. Chiefs are settling.
But do you really think that they're going to bring in a high-profile OC, knowing that Andy Reid is really the architect of the offense? That's like saying Sean McVay should bring in a different OC who's like very successful, right? That's like Kyle Shanahan bringing in a very successful OC. Like that's not going to happen. Okay. This is probably a best-case scenario based off of what we expect, unless Andy Reid's going to hand the keys of the offense over to somebody else, which at this point we wouldn't expect quite yet.
All right, Jay, and the last little piece of news that I want to discuss, we're back to San Francisco as the 49ers have announced that's it. We've seen the last of him. He ain't playing for us anymore. Brandon Aiyuk played his last snaps for the 49ers. So Brandon Aiyuk out of there. And you look at the San Francisco 49ers season, they were decimated at the receiver spot. It just feels like yesterday you had Debo and Kittle and Aiyuk and the offense was humming. And then you get to the end of the season and they're throwing the ball to Sky Moore. They're trying to get the ball to Kendrick Bourne and to Jordan Watkins. This is a team that, in my opinion, Jay, 49ers fans may not want to hear this, their window's closed.
I think it's closed, eh?
Their window's closed. The iteration of that 49ers team, they should have won a Super Bowl with Garoppolo. They had one with Jimmy G.
Sure.
You should have won with Jimmy G. They've been back to the dance again. But you've got a 37, 38-year-old Trent Williams. The offensive line is a mess. Your tight end towards Achilles. You don't have a receiving game. Christian McCaffrey is 30 years old, and you just gave him 400 touches on the season. Defensively, Fred Warner's great, but he's 30 years old. Nick Bosa coming off of another debilitating injury. He's in his 30s. It feels like this iteration of San Francisco is done. And I don't think they're going to move on from Shanahan because he feels like he's going to have one of those long type of stays like a Harbaugh in Baltimore, like a Tomlin in Pittsburgh. But moving on from Aiyuk, there are a lot of 49ers faithful who said that he should have got his damn money back, that the 49ers should give him every red cent back and bring him back to play wide receiver because they ain't got nobody right now. I think that their run and their window, it's over, just like Dallas's was over a couple of years ago. That little stretch run that Dallas had, the Zeke rookie year with Dak 2016 to about 2019, 2020, you should have won it in that window. But it does feel, and then look at the division they're in. The NFC West, Rams are still there. We'll see what happens to Stafford. You got
Stafford
Seattle.
Retire, yeah.
You've got Seattle and how good they look right now. Feels like this iteration of San Francisco's over. Where do you think Aiyuk ends up next year?
Well, I think that's the number one question is where is he going to go and who wants him right now? Like, is Mike Tomlin, I guess, to be fair, Mike Tomlin's no longer in Pittsburgh, but Pittsburgh, are they still interested in Brandon Aiyuk, right? And kind of where's the fit? And I think the other side is like, what is the compensation? Because if you're an NFL team, what are you paying for Brandon Aiyuk? He doesn't want to be there. He's got a massive contract, right? He's already shown to be a bit of a problem. I'd be curious what they even get for him. Like, can you get a 4th-round pick for him? Can you get a 5th-round pick for him? I have to imagine you can because the talent's there, but this is a guy who literally just quit on his team. But based off of what we've seen from the NFL, I'm not saying he's going to get blackballed, but I also wouldn't be shocked either if he did. He's just too talented for that to happen. But I'm very interested to see what they trade him for.
Would a team have to give him a new deal, or is that like
I would imagine he would try and keep his deal because I don't think they can just rip it up, at least not yet. But a team would have to trade for him, right? He's going to be traded. Just a matter of what the compensation is.
Dill said, "How can your window be closed when you have a young QB?" Because he's not
getting paid $60 million.
There's a lot of young QBs. He's not the type of QB that's going to drag his team anywhere, so it's irrelevant.
Yeah,
you got a young QB that's a trailer. You've got a very fancy trailer of a young quarterback that's eating up how much cap space, and he is not the type of quarterback to go get it. He ain't finna drag no receivers and a poor running game to the Super Bowl. There's no way. I mean, even when they needed him the most, right? The lowest yardage output in Kyle Shanahan's career. And I get it, Trent Williams wasn't on the field, but being a young quarterback doesn't mean you have an open window at all. Dak Prescott was young for a long time. Window closed on him. Still good. So that's my assessment and opinion of the Niners.
And
it doesn't mean you can't make the playoff.
Team in the NFL.
But you want to tell me there's still a window?
Average
Window's
age
closed.
27.3. Oldest in the NFL.
He drug him where, Dale? What are you? He drug him where? Where are we at? Drug him where? Drug him to getting dragged.
It was him and Mac Jones.
And Mac Jones. Brock Purdy didn't even play the full season. He drug him where? He's at home. They got their asses smashed. Smashed. And in both games against Seattle, how many touchdowns did they score?
0.
Come on, man.
I think it was only, 4 times Shanahan's been held to 7 or less points, and 2 of them happened.
We giving out participation trophies now? I drug you to get beaten right here. You didn't drug them to the Super Bowl. They didn't even look like they belonged in that spot. And I get it, all the injuries, but don't do that. And I'm fair for every team, but come on, now we're giving out. He drug him to get beat down in the divisional round. No.
Yep.
No, I'm not buying that, man. All right, Jay, we gotta take a look at your boy Mel Kiper and a mock draft that he dropped. We have not looked at a single pick, but I've heard it's the worst mock of all time. I love Mel Kiper. We shall see. We're gonna go to break, come back, jump into Mel's mock. Hit the thumbs up button, like the video. We'll be right back. What's poppin'? It's Wake Up with Ray and Jay every Tuesday, Thursday, right here on the channel. Appreciate y'all tapping in. Appreciate y'all pulling up. If you're new, we have a good time every time with the good people in the chat. I love you, Dill. Dill said he need to get on the show, Jay Rich. Dill said, the hell with that. I need to go off. Get me on the damn show. Dill said, get me on. Jay, you were supposed to set up the live call-in. So we got people call in and we can have a conversation. We're going to get it set up so y'all can call in and then we can talk some stuff together against one another. Just have some fun. It ain't got to be no adversarial type thing. But Jay, let's take a look at the Mel mock. You want to take a look at it? We have not looked at it. I haven't seen any picks. You haven't seen any picks.
It's only one pick that I saw. I don't remember what team it was that made me laugh. Everyone's up in arms about one pick.
I saw the first pick to set it up, but it's no surprise. It's Fernando Mendoza. Let's pull it up. Mel Kiper's 2026 mock. This is his first full 26 mock, I believe, his first one.
Yeah, 1.0.
Jay, so let's talk through it. How we feel about it. Fernando Mendoza to the Raiders. No comments here, correct?
No, minus 8,000 to be the number 1 overall pick. And Ray, gonna make me some money, Fernando Mendoza. Already got the Heisman, and we got the number 1 pick bet in as well. But how are you feeling about his fit on the Raiders? Good?
Yeah, he's best. That's the number 1 pick. New team. They've needed a quarterback. Still waiting on who's going to play head coach. You see Mendoza can join Joe Burrow, Cam Newton going undefeated in the season, winning the Heisman and the Natty. What a run he's had. What a run for Indiana. He's the number 1 overall pick. No shock, no surprise. Let's move on to the 102. Jay Rich, we'll put that draft timer on there to make it sound good. You know, it's draft time, baby.
Okay.
The Jets, Jay Rich, at number 2 go Arvell Reese, linebacker from Ohio State. So they go linebacker. A lot of
How do you
people
feel
think
about that?
very talented. Very talented. Feels kind of high, but if you're just looking
Someone's got to go 2 is kind of.
Someone's got to go 2. And
Yeah.
if you don't want to take a safety that high because positionally that's not where the value is. If you can get the most out of him and he can become an off-ball menace that can get after the quarterback, then Arvell Reese will be a good fit in a very competitive AFC East. I think he's a great fit for that division too. You need a linebacker or a player that's going to be able to flow sideline to sideline to deal with Allen, to deal with Drake May and whatever the Miami Dolphins present with Devon Achane in the backfield. So I am fine with the New York Jets and Arvell Reese. The Arizona Cardinals at 3. I have not seen anything. I am going to guess that they go offensive line here. I'm going to guess they go offensive line. They go Francis Mauigoa, offensive tackle from Miami. So this, for a lot of people, tackle 1 in the class. I think after the Senior Bowl next week, which we will not be there for the first time in like 4 years, there will be some other tackles that enter the mix. There's a lot of buzz. Miami's got another tackle down there that people are talking about. You've got Monroe Freeling out of Georgia. I don't know if he's been invited to the Senior Bowl or not, but he's another guy, 6'7", 300-plus pounds that can rise as well. But Francis Mauigoa, Arizona, and their new head coach, they go trenches. Jay Rich, Tennessee at 4. Where are they going?
They go with whoever their wide receiver 1 is. So, Mel, who's your wide receiver 1?
Wide receiver. I'm going to go line for the Tennessee Titans, and they go edge rusher David Bailey. David Bailey. I had him 3rd in my last mock to the Arizona Cardinals. Outside linebacker, edge rusher, 14.5 sacks this year. Very good in the college football playoffs.
You think he goes ahead of Bain, though?
I think they're right in the mix to go in the same range.
Okay.
I think
I thought Bailey was like more of a top 10 lock than like potentially going top 5. So I was a little surprised to see him at 4.
It's a product of the class, right? It's a product of the class, and go get guys, go fill a need. So David Bailey 4 to the Tennessee Titans. No wide receiver. This is a spot that I continue to say, I think this is where Tennessee, they should absolutely draft a receiver. And this wide receiver class is deep, but you need to go after a free agent. They need to bring somebody in that knows how to play receiver, that can work well with Cam Ward, but they'll get a young.
They got Ridley too, right?
Well, and they got 2 young guys. They got A.L. Manor and Chimere Dike.
That's true.
I just don't think a wide receiver at 4 makes a lot of sense for Tennessee, even though Titans fans want one of those guys. At 5, what do your Giants do? What do the Giants do?
Giants got to probably go offensive line too, no?
No, they will not go offensive line. They take Carnell Tate, wide receiver out of Ohio State.
Carnell Tate,
wide receiver out of Ohio State. Malik Neighbors, there was a tweet report. They don't know what his timeline is. They hope to have him ready for camp. They don't know, which, you know how they always say when they ever ask, you ask somebody, hey, what's your body count? And they're like, 8. And then you got to double it, right? It's really 16. It's like 16. So if they say his timeline count is training camp, then I'm just going to say he's probably not going to be ready by week 1. He's
week 4.
By week 4. Yeah, he's pup list at that point. So they go wide receiver. And I'll just say this, Jay. I did my scouting report on Carnell Tate. I went into the process fully 10 toes down, expecting my graded 1 and 2 to be Jordan Tyson and Mai Lemon. No, sir. Carnell Tate.
Outrageous.
All 68 targets. Jay Rich is a very good player. Matt Harmon, he responded to me this morning. He said he's awesome. He co-signed. He said he's awesome. I graded unbiased model. Old GQ is created over here. Carnell Tate graded out as the top guy.
Carnell Tate, wide receiver 1 by Ray I.
By Ray I. Here's what y'all can do. Right here, if you're watching this video live or you're watching after the fact, the scouting report that I drafted for Carnell Tate is in the description of this video. Go read it. Go check it out. Very detailed, very thorough. Go check it out. But the Giants add a wide receiver, and I think he would be an excellent complement to Malik Neighbors. Malik Neighbors would no doubt be the one in that offense. Carnell Tate would operate as the 2. He
is your George Pickens to CeeDee Lamb.
And that is the play style comparison that I have for him. If you read the profile, you'll see that, but you can check that out, description in the video. The Giants go Carnell Tate at 5. Now we're up at 6. The Cleveland Browns, Jay Rich. What do the Browns do at 6? Spencer Fanu, tackle out of Utah.
Tackle. Okay.
They go tackle, and I like it. I believe I gave them a tackle in my last mock. I know people want to keep jamming receiver in here, jamming it up. Go solidify that offensive line that was decimated this year. I believe they had 1 starting offensive lineman at the end of the season playing for them.
Yeah, they had a lot of combos.
Yeah, go upgrade that. Washington Commanders at 7, Jay Rich.
Has to be defense, right? I mean, Bain's still available.
Reuben Bain Jr. to the Washington Commanders. Reuben Bain, arm length be damned. I mean,
at 7, he's a steal.
I would love it. Yeah, I would love this if I were a Commanders fan. This would be an absolute home run of a selection getting Reuben Bain at 7. Home run pick.
I feel like if he's there past 5, teams will be trying to trade up to get him.
Probably.
With Cleveland especially, maybe not with Washington, because Washington probably wouldn't want to move. But that Cleveland at 6, if Bain is available, I would imagine teams are trying to trade up to get him.
I agree, Jay. I agree. Let's move on to pick 8 in Mel Kiper's mock. The Saints. Where the Saints go? This is your squad. This is your squad. Where do the Saints go?
We're getting Shuck with Jordan Tyson.
There it is. Jordan Tyson, Arizona State. Nailed it. Jordan Tyson paired up with Chris Olave. That's is good.
A ridiculous duo.
This is good. It's a good duo.
Wow. Ridiculous.
It's a good duo. I like that. Saints have a lot of needs, but equipping your young quarterback with resources is probably the most important thing that they can do. And getting another pass catcher. They lost Rashid Shaheed. You can't go in with Vele and Kevin Austin. You've got a tight end in Juwan Johnson. Think this is a really good fit. Get Tyson down there in New Orleans playing in that dome, baby.
It doesn't have to be the one, too.
It doesn't have to be the one. Does not have to be the one. Kansas City, Jay Rich, we just talked about all the stuff they need. Where they going?
I still think they should go offensive line, but I don't think anyone's available.
Come on, baby. Jeremiah Love.
So they did go Jeremiah Love.
Jeremiah Love.
So they got Eric Bieniemy. Now they got Jeremiah Love. I mean, at that point, they're Super Bowl bound.
Is that what it is? They're Super Bowl bound? I think it's the right pick.
If they draft Jeremiah Love, they will probably be the favorites to go back to the Super Bowl. Because at that point, you have a running game, which they don't have right now.
He's a great running back. He's an incredible running back. He would fit. They need a back. I've talked about it all season. They ain't been the same since Kareem Hunt. And I'm not talking about the Kareem Hunt that wears number 29 back when he wore number 27. They have not been the same since then. Get you a running back. Get you a running back, and he is by far the best one in the class. This isn't last year where if you don't get Genty, you're fine with Henderson. If you don't get Henderson, you're fine with This ain't that class. You better get the one you like, and the best one in the class unequivocally is Jeremiah Love. Cincinnati Bengals at 10, Jay, and then we'll kind of go faster through these. Who does Cincinnati take at 10?
It has to be someone on defense.
Caleb Downs, which would be a great pick.
Caleb
because
Downs.
Battle and everybody else they got back there are not very good. So Caleb Downs, arguably the best player in this class, arguably the best defender in this class. The Bengals get a massive upgrade with Caleb Downs at safety at 10. The Dolphins at 11 go Keldrick Falk, defensive end out of Auburn.
Defense.
Little high for my taste for a 6'6", 285-pound defensive end. But they need defense all over the board, and you've got a defensive coach. So I'm going to trust that he knows a lot more about the defensive side than I do. Jay, at 12, my Dallas Cowboys better take Sonny Styles. It better be Sonny Styles and nobody else, and there it is. Sonny Styles out of Ohio State, linebacker, going to the Dallas Cowboys at 12. The Rams at 13, interesting spot here. Jermon McCoy, cornerback out of Tennessee to the Rams.
Ahead of the LSU one.
Ahead of Mansour Delane. Jay, McCoy came off of an ACL, so he didn't play at all last year. We'll see how the medicals clear, but everybody projects him to be the best player in the class. The best corner in the class had that knee been healthy. Baltimore at 14. I've got no clue where they go here, Jay.
That should be Delane, right? That should be corner.
You think corner?
They need a corner bad.
No, they've got Wiggins. They've got Wiggins and
How is Wiggins held up against receivers?
Wiggins is fine. Wiggins is fine.
He's like 180 pounds.
Yeah, but he's a pretty good he's a good pass defender. Humphreys, I don't think they're going corner here. They've got so many issues on the offensive line. Oh, Mai Lemon.
Is interesting.
Mai Lemon.
Is there any world you think they actually would take Mai Lemon? It feels like such an anti-Baltimore pick. This is like mocking Kenyon Sadiq to Kansas City every single mock.
I wasn't expecting Mai to Baltimore, especially with the way that Zay plays. I'm all in favor of getting Lamar weapons. You know, I've continued to talk about Lamar needs weapons.
I love that.
Interesting. Okay, Mai Lemon to the Baltimore Ravens at 14. Tampa Bay at 15. They go Kenyon Sadiq. I think you just talked about him.
That feels like a very Tampa Bay pick.
They go Kenyon Sadiq. Ibuka last year. Sadiq this year. Offense. And Zac Robinson. We saw what he did with Kyle Pitts.
Yep.
Hey, do the same thing with Sadiq. We'll take it. At 16, the Jets with their second pick. Jay, you know where the Jets go with their second pick? They took Arvell Reese with the second pick. Jets at 16.
I think probably go back to defense.
Ty Simpson.
Wow. QB2 in the class. Ty Simpson. Someone's got to be QB2.
Thoughts about Simpson here at 16?
I think for this class, it's fairly appropriate. I'd have him anywhere between 16 and 25, probably, depending on how the draft goes. Again, they need a lot of stuff. The problem for me is that if Simpson's not the guy, why waste the pick, right? Like, if we already project 27 to potentially have more options, at least, even if you don't get the number one guy, do you think you burn the pick on Simpson knowing that you will definitely replace him if he's not good enough?
I think 16 is appropriate. I think 16 is appropriate, Jay. It feels.
I think the price tag is fine, but for the Jets, it's interesting.
All right, let's keep pushing. At 17, the Lions go Vega Ione, big guard out of Penn State. A lot of Lions fans told me that Tate Ratledge wasn't as advertised. As advertised. I didn't think he was that bad, but I also have not looked at the. I thought he was.
Can
he
play center? Because didn't their center retire?
I don't know where he would play schematically, but I know Vega. Could Vega play center? Probably not. You need to keep him at guard. You probably need to keep him at guard. 18, the Minnesota Vikings take Mansour Delane. I actually had this team paired up with Delane, but I had Minnesota trading up to get him, and people were like, they'll never trade up for that corner, but they do get him right here at 18. The Carolina Panthers at 19 go linebacker CJ Allen. They absolutely need a linebacker, so CJ Allen. LB3. Well, really 3 if you count Arvell Reese, Sonny Styles, and CJ Allen. That's 3 linebackers in round 1.
Isn't Styles more of a true linebacker? And then is CJ Allen more of like a true linebacker versus an edge?
Yeah, they're linebackers. Like,
yeah, that's why that's high, man. To get linebacker that high,
it's the class. You got to take somebody, fill a need, and linebacker is a need for Carolina. The Dallas Cowboys go Akeem Mesidor, DN from Miami. Okay, Mesidor. I mean, his
stock is rocketing
his
up.
Stock is skyrocketing up. I believe he and Bain are going to be at the Senior Bowl terrorizing those edge rushers. The big problem with Mesidor, Jay, you know how old Akeem Mesidor is going to be? Rookie year, 25 years old.
25, wow.
25. Okay. He's going to be 25 years old. Speaking of age, Carnell Tate will be the only receiver in the class to play his whole rookie year at 21 years old. The only one.
Okay. So he's like Jordan Addison, very, very young.
Very young. Carnell Tate is a young player. Akeem Mesidor, the opposite side of the spectrum, an old player here at 20. At 21, Jay Rich, Pittsburgh goes big wide receiver with Denzel Boston out of Washington. They get DK Metcalf some help. The Los Angeles Chargers go Peter Woods out of Clemson at D tackle. The Eagles go Avion Terrell, cornerback out of Clemson. What are your thoughts there?
I mean, Peter Woods, again, his stock has fallen a ton, but I feel like crazy. With Harbaugh, that's a great pick for them.
Yeah, it's a great pick.
That defense is already really good. They obviously are going to lose Minter, but Peter Woods is a great pick. I'm kind of surprised that Avion Terrell ends up in Philly, but man, if you pair him with all the other great corners they have there, my goodness, that would be really good. DeJean, Quinyon Mitchell,
you know why it feels good? You know why it feels good? Because he is a turnover causing cornerback. Leads the class in forced fumbles. He's got pedigree with his brother. I think that would be a great.
That's really good fit.
That'd be a good fit in Philadelphia with the Eagles. This Mel mock.
Not too many bad Clemson corners.
Who talks shit about this Mel mock? I kind of like this. This is not bad. 24. Jay, we're at pick 24. Let's see who we got. The Browns.
Browns again. Okay.
I have no clue. They went O tackle first pick. Where do they go here?
This is the wide receiver.
Is this the receiver?
This is the receiver.
Oh my God. Zachariah Branch. Jay Rich.
600 yards this season?
Wow.
I don't know about that one. 600 yards for Zachariah Branch.
Shame.
Dynamic, though.
Shame.
Playmaker.
Shame.
Yeah.
Kind of a gadget guy, though.
Yeah, this is one I'm just not. I can't do it, man. Even with the USC homerism, those kind of receivers that I can't do it. Not at 24. Not with KC Concepcion on the board. I would take him easily over Zachariah Branch. I would not do this if I were Cleveland. I would not be happy about this. 5'10", 180 pound, just slot merchant. I would not be happy about this one. 25, I believe it's the Bears. The Chicago Bears at 25. Go Caden McDonald, D-tackle out of Ohio State. A lot of people, I've mocked him there. A lot of people say, hey, we need interior D-line. This is a good pick, so that's good for the Bears. Buffalo, Jay Rich. Chris Brazzell.
Oh.
All right. They go big wide receiver out of tip. We're doing it again. Jalen Hyatt.
This many wide receivers?
Cedric Tillman. Deontay Thornton. Chris Brazzell II. Chris Brazzell. We got another, again, with Concepcion on the board. I don't know if I would have made this pick. Probably would not have been what I've done, but Buffalo goes Chris Brazzell in the first round. 6'5", big play, speed. Let's see if we can get one from Tennessee that's worth a damn. San Francisco at 27, they go Caleb Lomu. I keep talking about it, Trent Williams. You got to find somebody, right? You have to find 38 years old this summer, 1 year left on his deal. 24 starts, only allowed 3 sacks, all in 2024. Big tackle, Caleb Lomu goes to the 49ers at 27. And now we've got Houston going Caden Proctor, the big 6'7", 6'7", 350 pounder out of Alabama to the Texans. And now we get to our four teams who are going to vie for the Super Bowl. There goes the guy I talked about, Monroe Freeling. Monroe Freeling, the offensive tackle out of Georgia, goes to the Rams. We've got Caleb Banks, big D tackle that didn't play this year from Florida, going to the Denver Broncos, or didn't play much this year. Your Patriots, you ready? You ready for your Pats pick? Cassius Howe, outside linebacker out of Texas A&M. Outside linebacker, so they go defense. And unfortunately, they've got the Seattle Seahawks winning the Super Bowl. They take Brandon Cisse out of South Carolina, big physical corner, and cornerback has been a common pick for the Seattle Seahawks, just with the probably going to lose, Reek Woolen potentially at some point. You got to replace that. He's a trade candidate, they're saying, during the season, and Josh Jobe could be gone during free agency. This wasn't a bad mock by Mel. What'd you think?
I didn't think it was too bad. I mean, fitting a lot of needs. I wouldn't say anyone was like crazy overdrafted. I mean, the top of the draft is always going to surprise people because there just isn't enough solidified at the top. But I'm honestly most surprised, Ray, that we saw so many receivers.
A lot of
receivers that I didn't think
dude.
were first round guys. But again, they can be pushed up. Like, what were your thoughts on kind of the lower tier receivers, especially how they're ordered? Like Zachariah Branch, you wouldn't have in the first. I was kind of surprised to see Boston that high. Like, do you think he solidified as wide receiver 4?
Not yet. I don't think anything's solidified yet. I don't think anything.
I didn't think he was quite there.
Yeah.
So that kind of surprised me. But for the most part, it was pretty good. For me, it's Peter Woods and Avian Terrell. Like those guys,
this was a good
are
mock.
going to be steals for teams because they're very good players.
All the people people just complain, man. I'm with Jason. I'm with Quantity J. This was a good mock. I thought this was a good mock. No, I didn't agree with the Branch pick, but you're not going to agree with every pick and every mock. So Jay, we have not talked. We just got to give the predictions because we got to go. It's 9:15. We got BR. We got Jay. We did not even talk about it. AFC Championship, NFC Championship game. The AFC Championship game, just we both got New England winning, right? Jared,
do.
what are the vibes in Denver right now? Like, what are the Denver Bronco vibes for winning the game? Like,
again, I'm not a Denver fan, but it seems like they think they got a shot. I mean, the Pats have never won in Denver in the playoffs. They're 0-4. They do have Jared Stidham at quarterback, but I mean, this team is good. The defense is still good. I don't think they're playing their best football right now, but they can turn over quarterbacks. We saw that last week. I'm sure it won't be much different this week with May because May holds the ball too long. But they got a shot. It's going to depend on how Jared Stidham plays and what Sean Payton schemes up for that offense. And I think the biggest player in this game, Ray, is going to be RJ Harvey. Because the greatest friend...
They didn't even use him last game.
They didn't use him, but they're going to have to use him this game. The Denver offensive line is great. Even though the Pats' defensive line's played pretty well, especially with Milton Williams back, they're going to need RJ Harvey to have a big game.
What's the weather like? Is there any? Not that it would. I guess
not great.
I guess
It'll
it doesn't.
cold.
I guess it doesn't matter though. New England plays outside. They play in inclement weather. It won't. That shouldn't be
It's
an
the
issue
altitude, right? It's always the issue for people coming to Denver.
Has May ever played in Denver? Has he ever played at Mile High?
I don't think so.
Okay.
So it'd be interesting.
That altitude is for real, man. There's a stadium, I believe it's in Gunnison, Colorado. And I played there when I was in college. You know, I played a little bit, Jay Rich. I played there. And you feel it. When you're up there.
Because the air's just thin, right?
Yeah, you feel you're like, dang, I can't. Yeah, you're like, I can't get air in. But I mean, they're so advanced in the technology they use in the NFL to try to wear stuff to replicate it. Yeah, they got oxygen. Yeah. That D2 school, there wasn't no oxygen on the sideline, Jay. You got back in 03, 04, you just got to breathe it in through your nostrils, baby. No, you just got to get it in and figure it out. The NFC Championship game, in my opinion, is the far more interesting game. Seattle versus the Rams. You've got the home crowd of the 12 stadium out there just dealing with that in Seattle. You got the Rams, the MVP and Matthew Stafford. This game is so evenly matched. The two matchups this year, the Rams have scored 58 points. Seattle Seahawks, 57 points. The Rams have 830 yards of offense in the combined games. The Seahawks, 829 yards of combined offense. It's literally identical scoring, identical offensive yardage output. Darnold versus Stafford. Do you trust? I think we both trust Stafford more than Darnold. But does Darnold get a little bit of a boost with the home crowd playing in that stadium and having that home crowd advantage and that home field advantage on his side? Like, how do you think this one ends up?
So I do think Seattle's going to win the game. I do think that Darnold playing at home is a big factor. I mean, he had 4 interceptions in LA and he only had 2 in Seattle. That's a big difference. Like, if he were to throw 4 picks in this game, they have no shot of winning. Like, it's just not happening. So playing at home, the crowd noise on the other side. I mean, even in Chicago, we saw the Rams have some issues with the crowd noise there. It's going to be even louder this week because we know that Seattle is one of the loudest stadiums in the NFL. As long as that offensive line holds up and Darnold can play reasonably well, you know, all reports are his oblique is feeling a little bit better. He's not going to do a ton of throwing in practices this week, but he should be good to go. And if that defense continues to play at the level it's playing at, they're probably going to win the game. Seattle's defense is playing at a level that we simply don't see very often from defenses. And even an offense as good as the Rams and Matthew Stafford are going to need to play at their absolute best. Again, these games always come down to turnovers. These teams are so good. They're so evenly matched, as you mentioned with your numbers there. I just think Seattle's defense can do enough to ultimately win the game. And I think, as you asked me, do I trust Darnold more than Stafford? Absolutely not. But do I trust Darnold enough to win the game and make few enough mistakes? I absolutely do. Playing at home is a huge edge. I think Darnold and Seattle can get it done.
And then that would set up for a rematch of the Patriots-Seahawks Super Bowl. Can't remember the year, but that was the Malcolm Butler interception. Don't give it to Marshawn Lynch. Russell Wilson. Was it 2012? 2012?
I don't remember what year it was, to be honest.
I think it was 2012, Jay. No, it wasn't that. There's no way it was that long ago. What year was that Super Bowl?
2012.
2014?
Seems like was Giants Patriots.
Okay, that was Giants Patriots. When was Seattle New England? There's no way that thing was 11 years ago. 18. No, it was also, it had to been like 14 then. It had to have been 2014. Seattle, New England had to been 14.
That was Super Bowl. What number is that?
Dude, just type
16? 14? No, it's because it's 2014. Yeah, but it's because it's Super Bowl XLIX. I'm done with the Roman numerals.
You don't know Roman numerals?
No, I know them, but it's like it's been a long time.
If you were black from Atlanta, you would know Roman numerals because all the Jordans have the Roman. That's the only reason I know Roman numerals. But since you're black from Canada, you don't get it. Hit the music, man. Hit the music.
Yeah, 2014.
We bring it full circle here on the show. I don't wake up. Full circle. Professional operation. Jay Rich, good week. Good week. We appreciate y'all tapping in. Make sure you check out the Carnell Tate scouting report. You can find the link to that report in the description of this video. Check out DDFFB. Jay Rich, you got to do what? Trust it, baby.
Trust
Trinity baby. Show is up live. We're going through every conference. NFC East, we did that. That will be posted yesterday. Every division, every conference, all of that stuff. But much love. We appreciate y'all. Enjoy football this weekend. Jay, anything you want to say before we get out of here?
Like and subscribe, people. Come on, we got to get over 1,000 so we
we're
can start
almost
putting
there.
some ads on these videos. Right?
No, we got approved already, but we're close.
No, we need the 1,000.
How many we got? We got like 990.
The people, they're gatekeeping us, right? They don't want us to make any money. They don't want us to make any money.
Subscribe to the channel. Get this old little show to 1,000. We get more people watching than subscribe. That's some. If y'all watch and aren't subscribed, that's weak sauce. Come on, man. I know. We're a new operation trying to get off the ground, providing free content for the people. Man. Get us out of here, Jay, man. I don't want to say anything, man. Get us out of here, dude. Thank you, everybody, for tapping in for another great week. We'll be back on Tuesday to recap the AFC and NFC Championship games and hopefully finally put a bow on all of the coaching changes in the NFL. We will see. But thank you, everyone, for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next week. We are out. Peace.